Let's talk about today's webinar. So we have Peter Cunningham with us. Peter is the marketing director at Buyapowa, the leading global provider of reward and referral marketing solutions to enterprise businesses. So Peter, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, thanks very much. Let me just share my screen and I'll get started. Let's see. So, assuming now we all see that.
We can see it. Thank you.
So, thanks for having me on the webinar. As you said, I'm the marketing director of Buyapowa. You'll notice I'm not in the North American. I'm based in London. Headquarters is London, UK. We have quite a lot of heritage with credit unions. That went back to us acquiring Canada's reward stream about 7 years ago, which had quite a few credit union clients. We specialize working with regulated businesses and businesses that have complex conversion funnels. So particularly credit unions, but also insurers, banks, telecoms companies, energy companies. Often those businesses are regulated. Often they're paying out quite considerable rewards. They have high cost per acquisition. And sometimes they have regulatory requirements that you can't do this and you can't do that, or maybe you have to go offline for part of the conversion. We're able to deal with all of that. So what I'm here to do today is not really to talk about Buyapowa. If you want to talk about that, you can find me, or I'll put you in touch with one of my colleagues. We'd love to talk to you. But this is about some recent research we've done, which we've entitled Turning Member Advocacy into Measurable Growth. So it takes about 30 minutes really to get through this. We'll have some time for some questions at the end if you'd like to ask anything. So let me just get through. Some of our credentials, you can see on the top line some of the credit unions we work with, a lot of the financial services businesses, and then also we work with a lot of like telecom ISP, mobile companies in Europe and North America, both USA and Canada particularly. And hopefully they stand out. What we've done is we've done quite a lot of research in the past year and a half. We've done global surveys asking people across United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain and France, which are our principal markets. We asked them a lot of things about how referral works for their businesses. Obviously, we're asking the consumers what they expect to make them refer, what would stop them referring, and what they think about referral. So we did some really interesting research which we called Reward Revolution. Some of the stats that stood out from that, and happy to share this research with anyone who wants it. We found that 95% of respondents said they'd referred a friend to a brand in the last year. This is across all kinds of brands. So it could be fashion, it could be banks, it could be credit unions, it could be telecom, it could be anything. 75% of those people said that they would be less likely to refer if you didn't give them a reward. So that's about a quarter of people would refer without any reward. But the majority expect to get something. It's kind of, give and take. They're doing a service for you. They expect something in return. We also ask people, have you not accepted a referral recommendation without an incentive? And again, it's surprising 70% of people said that they were less likely or that they hadn't accepted a referral because there was no incentive in it. We've also asked people as well, we talked about what kind of rewards they expect. In a referral situation, obviously a credit union, you're essentially a bank, so you quite often pay cash into the account. But actually we found that people like reward choices. We can talk a little bit more about that later, but most people expected to choose between 3 to 4. We then did some similar research, which we called referral code breakers. And this we tried to look at, some of the secrets behind successful referral programs in the view of the customer. So for you, it's members, but interestingly, some companies feel reticent about having a referral program because they probably get a lot of word of mouth naturally. But actually 2/3 of respondents said that they view a brand favorably if they have a referral program. So you shouldn't feel ashamed about having a referral program. Actually, 8 in 10 said, I want to be able to refer my favorite brand. The other thing we asked people was, do you want the brand to tell you they've got a referral program, or do you expect to just find it yourself? Well, surprise, surprise, people expect to be told that you have a referral program. We asked them how often, and the average response, the most common response, was every 2 months. So they'd like you just to remind them they've got a referral program. Obviously not every week, not every month, but every 2 months, reach out to them. We asked them, what would they like to be told about your referral program? Surprise, surprise, they want to know about the rewards. Have you changed the rewards? We asked people when they were most likely to refer. This was actually after a positive customer support experience. So again, it makes a lot of sense. You have a problem, You reach out to customer support, they solve it, you feel good. That's a feel good moment when you feel likely to refer. Then the third bit of research we did again, referral myth debunked. We have a lot of people say, well, I was going to get those referrals anyway. Maybe you're just like the coupon companies. You're just taking a referral that was going to happen. But actually, we found half of all customers said that they didn't know about the brand that they were referred to before the referral. So actually, just over half of people didn't know about you. So it was new blood. So it wasn't someone who was already going to refer. 20% of people who already knew of the brand that were being referred to said it was better than the brand they use. The other one was interesting was more than 2/3 of people said that when they already knew about the brand, so they were considering it, what actually got them to purchase was knowing that their friend use it and they like it. And also we found that again, customers reported that they're 2 to 3 times more likely to convert if they have a recommendation from a friend. So we've done that research. Today we're going to focus on credit union members in the United States. So what we did a survey of 1,000. It's an incentivized survey. It's only done to people who self-identify as credit union members. We tried to balance it, so we mix it across the 4 US census regions, Northeast, Midwest, South, and West. And we tried to get a nice mix of urban, suburban, rural. The kind of questions we ask people is like, what encouraged you to refer? Is there any difference between the different regions? And what stopped you referring? And then we wanted to understand really how referral works with credit union values. So what did we find? So this is the first table. This is quite interesting. So actually, if you look at the first column, we asked people, have you ever referred someone to a credit union? And there's a little bit of a difference, a little bit lower in the Northeast, a little bit higher in the South, but it's less than half. It's between a third and half. What's really interesting with that is if you remember what I showed you about 2 slides ago, was across all brands, across different countries, 95% of people were saying, I referred a friend to a brand in the last year. Don't know about you, I find that a little bit surprising, given that we know referral works really well in financial services. We've done some great interviews on our website with people like Wise, Ali Bank, Wealthsimple, saying that it works super well for them. Credit unions are all about proximity to your customers, good service. You have higher NPS typically than any other financial service business. So it's surprising to me that's so low when you consider that 95% of people said they referred someone. We asked, would you refer someone without a reward? Again, thinking that credit union, you've got good service, maybe that would make the reward less important. And actually, it's not out of line what we saw with the general population across other brands. It's about a third of people said they would refer without a reward. Now, this is really interesting. We did an interview recently with Ali Bank, a gentleman called David Hickson, who set up their referral program. In less than 9 months, they were getting 10 to 15% of all their customers from referral, which is really, really amazing when you think they're a $4 billion business. Now, what they did was they put a cap. So they put in place a referral program. They said you can only get rewarded for 5. And in the interview, he says we have people that have referred 100, 150. So actually giving someone a referral program makes them more likely to refer even without the reward. But again, only about a third of people say they would refer without a reward. So not giving people a reward, probably missing something. We always say the reward should never be your primary motive for referring anything. It's a thank you. There's some great research by Yale University a few years back. They looked at why referring customers are better, and they talked about active and passive matching. Passive matching is the fact that you tend to associate with people who have the same values as you, the same stage of life. If you're just buying a house, you have kids in school, you're going to know other people at the same stage. You meet people at the school gate. So if you're a good customer, you're likely to refer other customers. The other one is what they called active matching, was people looked in their network for people that might want to join the credit union. But they talked about the purpose the reward served. And they said it's really about taking away that psychological barrier. Now, the barrier is if I refer you, I'm risking my reputation with you. If I send you to a bad service, you say, Pete, please don't refer me again. So actually the referral gets people off the couch. It gets them like to put down Netflix and actually do something. There's $25 in this. So the rewards can be really useful. The next column, we asked people, would you be more likely to refer if you were given a time-limited special offer? And this is huge, like, up to 80% of people saying, yes, I would refer if you gave me a time-limited special promotion. One of our clients is Delta Community Credit Union. We have a great video on our website and YouTube with a gentleman called Ollie Moore, and he talks about how a couple of times a year they do special double bonuses, and that really drives acquisition for them. And they try and fix that at moments in the year when they feel their members need some more money. So it's around holiday time, it's around like Black Friday, Christmas shopping, and they say that really drives additional customer acquisition. The actual column, the far right, is probably the one that jumps at me, because if you look at the numbers there isn't a great difference between Northeast, Midwest, South, and West. They're about the same. About 70% of people are saying, I am likely to refer someone to my credit union in the next 6 months. You go back to the left, and only between a third and half actually do. This is something that's known as the referral gap. It was first really identified by a study, I think in about 2013, by Texas Tech. And actually, it's difficult to find that study now. It seems to have disappeared, but it's still referred to in quite a few places. And they found that 83%, they were looking at clients of a bank, 83% of people said after a positive customer service experience, they would refer the bank, but only 29% of people did. So there's this huge referral gap between, yes, I'm predisposed to referring you, but then I actually do it. What makes that gap close? Well, in our view, it's one, having a referral program, it's marketing it, and it's having great rewards that get people off the couch. So what does this show? There's a clear opportunity, I think, for credit unions to drive more referrals. You think that less than half of people claim to refer their friend in the past year. We found 95% across all industries. Actually, only 9 to 14% of people said they were close to referring a friend to their credit union, which is quite low. So there is potential there. And also, offering a reward is important. So you obviously need to look at the economics, look at any regulatory requirements, but a reward is something that motivates. There was also some great research by Berkeley and Harvard, again, a few years back, which looked at a study, and they only offered people $5, but they said you can keep the $5, give the $5 to your friend, share $2.50, or you can give $5 to a charity. And they found the overwhelming majority of people wanted to give the reward to their friend, because actually, when you make a referral, you want your friend to have a good experience and you want to give them a good offer. So where you can, offering something to the friend can be quite important. And actually, it encourages the referrer to refer, because I know that I'm giving you a recommendation. Let's stake my life on the service you get from my credit union is going to be great. And actually, if you accept my offer now, you're going to get $25. Time limited booster campaigns and promotions really work. Having a referral program that's just a one, always on, always the same thing, just gets boring, gets stale. You need to freshen things up. You need to move things around. It's something we do all the time with our clients. So that, as you can see from the stats, that excites people. And as we talked about the referral gap, 2/3 of people are willing to refer, but only about a third and a half do. So you need to have a program, but you need to constantly market it. I did a blog a few years back after a really insightful conversation with someone at a conference who told me they did some research into referral programs globally and found that only 1 in 5 work. And they said, so why is that? And I said, mostly it's because you don't market it. Your members don't know it's there. They can't find it when they look for it. So we all say, market it, promote it. We don't ask people, what motivates you to refer? Well, is it rewards for the friends or rewards for you? Might not surprise you in the context of a credit union, because a credit union, again, people are more community-based. The highest motivator we identified in our survey was getting a good deal for your friend. You want to give your friend a good recommendation and a good deal. It was very important in all regions that the friend got an incentive. It was highest in the Midwest and West, a little bit lower in the Northeast. Only second was the reward for the referrer themselves. So the what's in it for me was less important than a what's in it for you. We asked people about community-based rewards versus individual rewards. This was quite interesting. Southern and more rural members preferred community-based rewards, supporting the community. If you're helping build a community center, you may be building a park for kids in a rundown area, something like that. That seemed to excite them more than actually getting a reward themselves. I'll let you be the judge if that's surprising or not. Urban members, probably less surprising, wanted individualistic rewards and rewards for them. We found that a response that was common across all regions, and again, probably doesn't surprise you being a credit union, is that feeling valued as a valued member of the credit union was a high motivator for referral for all regions. So key points from this is friend incentives do motivate your members to refer their friends because they're thinking, what's in it for my friend? Less than what's in it for me. And also community and non-cash can work. So, thinking about giving someone money, but maybe you give them, hey, you're a ninja, you're like a top ambassador, you're one of our star members. These things do motivate people in a credit union context. We then asked people as well, what kind of rewards resonate for referrals? If you were asked to choose one type of reward, what would you choose? And they were given a choice of 5. They were given a choice of, so cash was unsurprisingly, was the one that most people chose. About half across all regions said they'd like cash. But the attractiveness of the other options varied by region. 21% in the Midwest asked for gift cards, a bit less in the West. Loyalty points were valued in the West, but much, much less in the South. Rebates or fee waivers, 15% in the Northeast, only 8% in the South. Charitable donations with gift cards were popular in the South, but only 5.8% in the Northeast. What strikes me with this is it's probably obvious that 50% of people say, yeah, cash. You can use cash for everything. But actually, the sum of all of the other options adds up to about 50%. So just thinking cash, you're sometimes missing something here. What we say is cash. Cash is fungible. You forget cash. You put cash in your wallet. Maybe you get in home and your kids are, Mom, Pop, give me some pocket money. Bam, it's gone. You've forgotten it. Or you spend it on some utility bill. But if you get a gift card, especially if it's for a nice store you really like, or maybe it's an event, maybe it's balloon riding or rafting or something, you're going to do that and you're going to think of the person that gave you that card. So don't think about cash as being the only reward. We do a managed service. We don't just build the referral programs. We advise our clients on how to get the best from their referral program, and we help them interpret the data and give them best practice. We always say that reward choices are a motivator for referral. It's something that some people think, no, it's only right at the very end of the referral funnel when someone's deciding what reward they want. Actually, can make a lot of difference when you let them know they can choose from 4 or 5 options right up front. So we'd say offer reward choices. Don't just think about cash. Understanding what lies beneath referral. So, yes, there's a referral program. Yes, there's a reward. But what makes you a likely candidate to refer a credit union? Number one was a consistently good experience and customer service from your credit union. No surprise, a happy member. The survey identified having some tenure with the credit union. Being at least a year was one thing that people identified. So you've had a good experience and you've had it long enough to know that your friend will have a good experience. Remember, I said that the number one motivator for referring was your friend having a good experience. The third thing that was thrown up by the survey was actually seeing some personal financial benefit for yourself. So that could be something like you had a savings goal and you hit your savings goal. You had a loan, you paid off your loan. So feeling that you've achieved something with the credit union was a great motivator. So key points here. Ask members to refer you when they've had a good experience. The ninja level of referral, if you can hit people when they feel good about you. Because the reality is that dopamine wears off and people get back to watching HBO and Netflix. If they're just giving you high NPS, they're giving you a great rating, they've called up your call center or they've talked to your branch and you say to them, were you satisfied? Are you happy with it? That's a great time to say, hey, do you have friends that could benefit from being part of this credit union? And when they've reached a membership milestone, maybe they've been a member 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. That's a great time to reach out. Maybe you offer them a little reward, thank you for this. It doesn't have to be cash. It could be a status. You're one of our favorite members. You're one of our treasured members. You've made 6 months. You've made 12 months. Hey, anyone else you think you can refer? There's some recent research which you can find called Referral Contagion, which is Berkeley University. They looked at 41 million accounts of a telecom business in the United States over 10 years. And they found that referred members are worth more. not only do they stay longer, they spend more, but they also refer more than other members. And they're 20% more likely to refer if you remind them that they were referred in as well. So a great tip there, a ninja tip, is if someone reaches their 6-month, their 12-month, their 18-month, great, thanks for being a valued member. You were referred. Do you want to share the love? If you can see someone's reached a personal goal, they've repaid their debt, they've taken out a loan to build a barn or something, like, hey, congratulations, you've repaid it. You've met your savings goal, assuming you know that. A great time to reach out and say, you've done this. Is someone else we could help do this? We also asked in the survey, what's going to stop you referring? You're a customer, you're happy, we've asked you to refer, there's a reward. What's going to stop you? So these are the top factors that were identified as being barriers to referral. So the first one is members didn't want to seem pushy to their friend. They didn't want to feel like they were pushing the credit union onto their friends. So that's an interesting response. The second one was they said that they didn't think about referring unless they were prompted to refer. So remember that people want to be told, and told every 2 months you have a referral program. So I will say that, brands that I love, how do I express my love? I buy again. If someone doesn't ask me to refer, I will refer if someone asks me, do you know a great brand? But if the company's reached out to me and said, hey, you having a good time with us? Yes. Do you know someone else who could have a good time? I'm much more likely to refer. Here was another one, was people weren't sure that they could refer. Do I have to have been a customer this time? Do I have to have this to be a referrer? Do I need to even be a member to refer? This doubt was more common in rural areas. So great tip there is to make it very clear on the face of your referral program. So we have clients that say only members can refer. You need to be logged in with single sign-on in the member area, or you need to put in your policy number, or you need to do this and refer. Others can let anyone refer. We have obviously a big debate about this all the time. If you restrict the number of referrals, you're reducing your funnel. So you could think about it, if you are a geographical credit union and someone leaves, someone goes from Michigan and someone goes to Florida, should you stop that person leaving because they're no longer with you? Maybe they still know people in Michigan. So make it clear on the face of your referral program who can refer and whether you have to be a current member. Again, this was more common in urban areas. People weren't sure what's in it for them. If you're giving a reward, explain what that reward is. Make it clear what they need to do to get that reward. And then the other one was that people were unsure that the friend would have a good experience. So this is a great thing, is for using social proof. So you're a happy customer. Andrea, you're having a great time with your credit union. But maybe you're thinking, hey, does that mean everyone's having a great time? Use social proof. We have 100,000 happy members. Our average NPS is this. Our ratings are 4.6 out of 5. We'll look after your friend. So the key points here, make sure you ask and prompt your members to refer friends, and also in a natural way. Don't pressure your members so they don't feel that they need to pressure their friends, and encourage them to ask at normal times, over a barbecue, over a dinner. We have QR codes. It's a great thing. You're over the barbecue and someone says, hey, who do you bank with? Well, these guys. Why don't you just scan this and you can get a great deal. Make it clear that the member can refer. Make it clear what's in it for them and also for the friend. Remind members that they've had a great experience with you. I mean, if you can identify moments where a member's had a great experience, particularly when they've told you they've had a great experience, remind them they've had a great experience. Convince them you look after their friend. Let the members send their own message. Don't force them to send the message. A lot of in-house built referral programs, which is something that in different legal requirements in different places, some of the really old in-house ones say, put your friends' details in here, their name, their phone number, their email, and we'll call them. That's quite aggressive because your friend gets a call when they don't want one. There's a great anecdote in the Delta Community Credit Union interview we did where they said they had their own scheme like this, and you had to put in your friend's name. Well, they said the problem here is your friend as Dwayne, but actually he was born as John Dwayne. And actually in his documents, he's John. So they had a problem matching people. Or it says, put your friend's email. Maybe you don't remember the email. Maybe you put a typo in the email, or maybe you don't remember the number. So it's a lot easier just to have your members share a link with their friend. If their friend wants to come to your credit union and inquire, that's so much less menacing. And you also lose all that data problem. So, do I know my friend's phone number? Do I know my friend's email? Do I know my friend's details? Do I know their full name? Do I know their full legal name? So those are great tips. Another thing we looked at was, what is the potential for referrals for your credit union? So we asked people an estimate. How many people do you think in your network would be a great fit for your credit union? So we found in the South and Midwest, people tended to have smaller networks. So only a fifth had more than 10. West and Northeast, it was actually higher, but 38% in the West said they had 10 or more. What does this mean? Well, actually, you can use different tactics. If you understand like the dynamics of your credit union, you can use different tactics. So if you've got if your members have a smaller potential network, you maybe need to get more members referring and expect them to bring one, two each. There's a great thing in the Ali Bank webinar, which I mentioned. They talk about their onesies and twosies, the guys that bring ones and twos, which I think are the best referrals because it's like natural word of mouth. Whereas people that bring in a lot, they're closer to being influencers. It's a great interview if you want to watch it. But those where you've got a small number of people with large potential networks, then you can use influencer type tactics. Key point here is don't use the same tactics for every credit union. You need to adopt to the realities of your membership base. Finally, we asked people, how likely are you to switch? How likely are you to leave your credit union? And the good news here is that most people, a little bit more in Midwest and South, said they're more likely to switch if a friend recommended a better option. I think there's a huge potential for credit unions. If you think less than half of people report having referred a friend, against 95% is what we saw across our general international study. Rewards and reward choices drive referrals. They encourage your members to refer their friends because they know they can choose what reward they want. Time limited promotions and promotions, changing your offers around can really, really affect the success of your referral program. Don't forget community-based, status-based rewards. It doesn't have to have a cash value. So particularly in the South, community-based rewards appeal, but status-based rewards, you are, a valued member, you are a ninja, you are a trusted ambassador. These things resonate with credit union members. Remember that credit unions want to give their friends a great deal. So offer incentives to the friends. Again, doesn't need to be cash, but you use social proof. Assure your members that you will look after their friend. Promote your program. Promote. It needs to be everywhere people would expect to find it. It should be on your homepage, in your FAQs. You should talk about this, in your call centers, your chatbots. People in your branches should know about it. And if you can find those golden moments when someone feels good about you, that's the right time to ask. The kind of tactics you want to use depend on the potential of your members' network. So that was it. So hopefully that was interesting for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. That was great. Again, now's time for questions or just sharing and collaboration time. I know there are quite a few of you that already have referral programs, which is great to see and hear. I don't know if some people are open to sharing what they're doing at their credit union, but please, if you are, you can plop it in chat. You can turn your microphone off and share with us. We'd love to hear. But yeah, Peter, great information. This was my second time listening to it, and I learned even more than I did the first time. So we appreciate all of the research and knowledge sharing that you offered to all of us today. Somebody raise their hand.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Veronica. I'm with a credit union, California, in the Los Angeles area. We do have a program in place. We've had one in place for a couple of years now, and we do pay out an incentive for both the refer and the referee. So, but my question was, we do have uh, qualifications that they need to meet, and I was just wondering Have you seen that where they have to meet certain qualifications and the time frame of the qualifications? Um, y- y- Anything else out there? Because we do have, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. It might not be as simple to someone else, but it's a pretty simple qualification that they do need to meet. But have you seen any type of limitations of how long they need to meet those qualifications to receive an incentive
Right.
and to see something positive come out of that?
This is a great point. If you want to protect your margin, you can't give away something for nothing. There was a great post by a guy called Andrew Chen. It's like he's a very kind of a provocative writer. He set up the Uber referral program, and he wrote a blog saying referral programs don't work. You know, they got us the worst users. They got the scammers, the people that were doing all kinds of things to get a free ride, setting up duplicate accounts. We actually wrote a post responding to it. A few others did as well. If you give away something valuable for nothing, guess what? People will take advantage of it. There's a great bit in the Ali Bank video that the guy talks about the fact that he did a promotion, not with a referral, but years ago. He said, if you open an account, we put $100 in it. Guess what? People opened an account with $1, got $100 and closed the account. So there are unfortunately some less than honest people out there, but most people, if you're naive, they'll take advantage of an offer. So we always say protect your margins. So there are certain things that you need to see to make sure it's a good referrer. So one of those is, yeah, I'll set up an account. I don't put any money in it. The other one is I put in money and I'll take it out in a month. So typically what we do is we advise all our clients to do this, and there's different ways to do it. So one of the USPs of our referral program is the ability to have that integrated with your back end. So you can say, right, if it's a savings account, you need to deposit this amount of saving. If it's a checking account, you need maybe to put in your like salary payment. And you might say, whatever time it takes you to make sure that that is a legit, valuable conversion, that's what you should wait. Yes, it's great to try and pay things out as quick as possible because that, people feel great. We have an account area where people can come in and see, I referred 4 friends and they're still sitting there pending. And then we encourage people to give full disclosure. You've referred your friend. Typically, this will take 30 days because your friend needs to do this. So if you want to protect your margin, yes, have those post-completion conditions. Be very upfront about what they are. Communicate what they are. Let your members know that their friend needs to do something. Quite often, the member can like chivvy the friend along. Hey, then I recommended you the referral program with the credit union. Did you open the account? Yeah, I opened the account. Did you pay money in? Not yet. Okay. So if you're explicit about that, it's very clear. It works. And I would say, yes, do it. We've just done a video with an ISP in the United Kingdom, and they talk about doing it within 14 days. So they have a 14-day waiting period. We have some clients that wait like 2 months. So it's less important the time. It's as long as you communicate that very clearly to people, you create the expectation that their friend must do something. This is not free money. You are not charities. You're nonprofit, but you're not charity, right? So you must get value from your referral. So yes, please do put in conditions, communicate to your members, let them know, hey, it's going to be on the way. Normally this takes 30 days.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
There was a great question that Andrea asked me. She asked me about, I don't know if this is hypothetical, but she said, what if I'm in Minnesota and Wisconsin and I can do referral in one but not the other state? And how do I work around that? And that's actually something where we can't advise you on the law. As you're all aware, United States is a minefield with law, with like federal, with state, municipality law. So you guys hopefully know the legal position. But software, in a way, we're able to adapt. So we work with a lot of insurers. For example, insurers typically can't incentivize the friend, and you can't pay the referrer based on the friend taking out the policy. So what they do is they need to, it's a lead. So we do that. You may be aware of Washington State, the trouble that Robinhood and Capital One, I think Chime and a few others got into with their members sending unsolicited text messages to people. So they got a class action. We have some clients, what we've done is we just disabled the text function so they can't send it. It's interesting I had a look through what some of the other companies have done. So I looked at those companies, for example, I mentioned, and some others. Some have put, if you take part in this, you warrant that you will not send any text message to Washington State. Others say, if you refer someone to Washington State, you will not get a reward and your friend will not get an incentive. Others talk about, I saw a blog talking about trying to block numbers from Washington State. I don't know how practical that is, but there are different ways you can do things. So if you have a reason for structuring your referral program that way, that's something you can talk to us about, and we can normally find a way around it.
Yes, thank you. Otherwise, Peter, like I said, I'll send out the recording, the slide deck. You have Peter's information to get a hold of him if you have further questions. Otherwise, thank you, Peter, and thank you all. Do you have any final thoughts, Peter?
Yeah, I was just say thank you very much for having me. Pleasure talking about. You can see we spend all our time. This all we do is referral and reward. So we talk about it, and when we find someone else that's really into it, we love it, and we kind of geek out together. On our website and our YouTube, we have the webinars where we did all the previous research. We have those pages. You can download the research, or I can send them to you. Anyone wants them, and also the research we did behind this, happy to send to people. And also, I'd recommend, even if you're never going to work with us, if you want to hear, and if anyone wants to do an interview with us as well, if you think you're a referral expert, we'd love to interview you. But we've been asking the people behind the world's most successful referral programs, like, what did you do? What did you learn? What surprised you? What would you advise someone that wants to start a referral program? We've had Robinhood, we've had Wise, we've had Wealthsimple, Delta Community Credit Union, Ally Bank, we had AXA, we just did Tube. I'm not forgetting someone. We've got some more coming as well. So the main reason we did these actually was we wanted to encourage our clients to do things. So it's unfortunate when you're a supplier, you tell people do this, do this, do this, and if they listen to you, great. But we felt it would be much more convincing if we could find the real people that run successful referral programs to say, like Delta Community Credit Union, talk about their booster programs. They talk about the importance of educating the whole team, educating the people in the branch. So when you come in and you say, hey, I got a referral link, what do I do? The guy knows. So they're half an hour, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. They're free. So even if I never hear from you, welcome to learn. You'll be learning from others. On the average reward per person, I don't think we asked that in this survey, but in other surveys, we asked people so typically the reward you give people depends on 3 or 4 things. The more valuable the member, competition means, you pay more in paid search, you pay more for affiliates, you pay more to get it elsewhere, and your competitors will offer more. So if you're in an in-state situation with a competitor and they're offering $50 and you offer 15, there's a little bit there. A great thing is not to offer the same reward for every customer. Offer higher rewards for higher value customers, protect your margin. We also asked people in one of the other research studies we did, what percentage of the value do you expect? And it was about 20-30% is what people thought was fair. And it was very radically different with age groups. So we found that younger people wanted more and older people were happy with less. So it's really going to depend on your customers. Your customers, you can test. We always say as well, if you offer too much, you'll get the wrong referrer and the wrong customer. You should be offering really something that gets you off the couch, gets you to put down Netflix, put down World of Warcraft, gets you to refer your credit union. It's enough to do that. It shouldn't be, hey, I'm not going to work on Monday. I'm just going to sit here referring to people that don't know, right? So if you bear that in mind, you'll find the right reward.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you for the question, Kayla. Okay, Peter. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll be in touch with the recording and the slides and everything. And Peter, I'll be in touch with you as well.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.